Hi, my name is Cheyenne Williams. I'm a student at Fort Lewis College in Durango, Colorado. I'm here to tell the story of my grandmother, an independent, strong woman that I have always looked up to and admired. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic, I was not able to interview her in person, so we met on Zoom instead. And I really wanted to know where her values came from and what values she was brought up with, especially growing up on the Navajo reservation. I wanted to learn what Muscogee values she was taught and the values that she tried to pass on to my dad and his two brothers. I thought I knew what she would say. It's good to see you.
It's good seeing you, baby.
All right, are you ready?
I suppose.
Okay. Can you give me your name and what tribe you belong to?
Name Ollie Joyce Muscogee, and I'm from the Muscogee Creek Nation. I'm full blood. I'm the daughter of Jake and Minnie Muscogee, sister to Pauline.
And how old are you?
Old enough. I'm 82.
And what age were you whenever you lived on the Navajo reservation?
I was raised out there, so most of my life.
What was it like growing up there?
I guess we had a lot of fun. Wasn't any different than any place else for any kids, you know. City kids, that's all they knew. Reservation kids, that's all we knew.
Did growing up there without electricity shape your values at all?
Not really. You know, we didn't know any different.
Mm.
And we didn't have electricity until I was a senior in high school. You know, never thought anything about it.
Was it any different being Muscogee living on the Navajo reservation? Were you treated any differently?
You know, we actually weren't. They kind of included us, you know, like their kids. But we got to go to some of the squaw dances. We had a lot of fun out there.
Were there any certain values on the Navajo reservation?
A lot of different values. You know, Mom and Dad were Southern Baptist. We went to church Sundays in the morning, night, and then on Wednesday evenings. And we learned the Bible. Kind of bad at times, but that was all right. Ask forgiveness.
Were there any Muscogee values that they had that they tried to pass on to you guys?
No, because during their time in school, they went to boarding schools. And back then in boarding schools, they were told, you know, you have to be white. Well, not have to be white, but you have to be like us, you know. And you can't talk your language. And they were beaten if they were caught talking Creek. So, you know, we never learned Creek. A lot of tribes were like that, you know,
right,
all over. As you hear about all these people, they took our kids from them and put them in boarding schools. Well, my own mother didn't go to school until she was 12. She used to take care of her grandma, and then her grandma said that her grandfather was going to marry her off to some Choctaw man, and she says, okay, I'm going to school. She went on to school and got her education, then became a teacher.
What values did your mom have?
The Baptist values, you know, being a good person. And she was, to me, she was a saint. I don't think anybody can live up to her.
What values have you tried to pass on, especially with my dad and his brothers?
You know, for them, since they're all boys, they have to be kind to people. You know, their families. You take care of your families first.
What's one thing that you hope that me and your other grandchildren will carry on from you?
Sense of humor. Can't get along in this world without a sense of humor, I don't think. You use it when you really need it. And never stop learning. Mom and Dad used to say, you know, they might come in and they might take everything away from you, but they can never take your knowledge. So you learn all you can. We've lived, you know, our ancestors have gone through a lot to get where we are now. And that's what I used to tell, my kids. I says, our ancestors did not walk the Trail of Tears for us to, burn out. They did it for us.
Mm.
So the least we can do is, honor them by being that good person.
My grandma's answers surprised me, to say the least. I hadn't realized how recently our culture had been taken from us. I hadn't realized how prominent Southern Baptist values were in our family. It was a very bittersweet experience for me, because on one hand, I got to talk to my grandma and learn more about her and our family. But on the other hand, I came to learn how forced assimilation affected our family. This conversation went so differently than I expected. I didn't realize that my grandma didn't even have the chance to learn our language or embrace those traditions. It's a big responsibility to keep my culture and values alive, but I don't just do it for me. I do it for my tribe and for my grandma. She never had the opportunities that I do, so the least I could do is take them for her.